Hey, what's up, guys? It has been a minute since I have been on here. I have just been like super busy. Just super busy with life in general. Like, I have so much stuff that I have to do all the time, and like I never have time to record a video. And then when I have like days off and stuff, my plan is to record a video, and then it never happens. So I took the initiative today and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna record a video today. So, with that being said, so you're going to get like a lot of uploads today. I just need to edit. Like, I have 3 videos that I have yet to edit, and then I can upload them. They're really old though. They're probably like from like, I think October probably. And they're really like nothing too major or important. They're just like videos, but I think you guys will like them. So I'm gonna upload those, and then I also have 2 videos that I'm gonna do today. So this one, and then I'm gonna do another one of me organizing my closet, like doing like a clean organization type thing. So that's gonna be really great. Or at least I think so, because I get excited about organization and cleaning and all that stuff. But this particular video today is going to be about my MS story. So I have been saying over and over again, as y'all know, that I'm going to upload this story, and I just haven't had the chance to do so. So I'm finally pushing myself and gonna do it. And it's not like an extravagant type of thing or an extravagant story, but it's definitely one that I feel like, you know, people would like to hear, especially considering the fact that like I said, MS kind of just came about randomly with me, and so it's very interesting to say the least. So let me get started. I don't want to further anything or prolong it because I can only record 15 minutes worth of footage anyway. So let's see. So starting off, so MS is an abbreviation for multiple sclerosis. And what that is, and please don't talk about me, but I'm gonna Google it because I feel like Google can explain what the definition is better than I can. The only way that I can really explain it is how how it affects me. So how MS affects me is the best way that I can explain it in my words. But to give you guys an Google definition, so multiple sclerosis is a disease in which the immune system eats away at the protective covering of nerves. So our nerves in our body has like this protective covering, and it's called excuse me, it's a M word or something. It starts with an M. Whatever it's called. So it protects. It's like a protective coating over our nerves, so it like protects our nerves. And so what MS does is it strips away the protective covering of the nerves. And so the reason, or not the reason, but with the stripping away of the protective covering, or the eating away of the protective covering, it creates these things called like lesions, which are like, if you're looking at an MRI, it's spots on the brain or on the spine, and those things are really like, they're damaging, but like you can't really tell. It's basically a damaging of the nerves, basically. It messes with the central nervous system. And so for me specifically, I'll just go over how all this even came about. Okay, so in December of 2015, I was noticing that in my left eye, I had like spots in my left eye. So to explain it, to get you guys to understand, so like say if you're looking, like just looking normally, and like you see like clouded areas in your eye, or like blurred areas in your eye, or not in your eye, but like for whatever you're looking at, there's like blurred areas, like certain things you can see like patches of. And so I noticed that in my left eye, and I was like, this is like extremely weird, but I didn't think like too deep of it. I was like, this is just really random. And so I had told my mom about it, and we had both, decided that it would be a good idea to make an appointment with my eye doctor. And so that's what I did. I made an appointment with my eye doctor and basically told him, what was going on, and how when I look out of my left eye, like I see like different patches and different pieces of different things, but I can't see everything fully. And so made an appointment with him. We did like so many different tests. Like he would look in my eye, test me, like I would go over like how you do at a normal eye doctor appointment, where you would read the letters and all that stuff. So I read the letters, and on the left side he just noticed like, there's something really deep down back there that I can't see, and he was like, there's a blocking of some sort, but I can't tell what it is. And so he was like, I really need something like to go deeper to see that. And so we did a vision test or a field test, something like that. And that's, I guess, that test you can like see really inside the retina or whatever, but he still couldn't understand what it was. He still couldn't see. And so after like reviewing all the tests and stuff and seeing how I did with all the tests, he recommended that I get an MRI. Now, that was something I've never been through before. I've never got an MRI, never had to like go through anything that serious, like to that extent before. So I was a little bit nervous, and I was very, very confused because I didn't understand anything. Like I knew the eye part because I've worn glasses for like basically most of my life, so I know that part, that aspect of it. But like as far as like the MRI, I started Googling stuff, and I'm looking at this machine, and I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna panic because I'm not used to this. I don't know what this means. And so he referred me to my physician, my family doctor, and he said that we're going to do an MRI, so connect with her. And then also he referred me to a neurologist. Now, sorry, I got cut off because I had a phone call. But like I said, he referred me to a neurologist. So he referred me to a local neurologist, which is a brain doctor. And I met with him after I had got my MRI, the neurologist. I met with him after I got my MRI. So, went through the MRI thing, and I was like very, very nervous. I think I almost kind of like had like a panic attack because it was like, I don't like being in closed spaces. And so if you're familiar with the MRI, like the machine, it's very closed in. It's like you're laying in a hospital bed, but it's closed in. So you can only go in there like head first, and then they put you in there probably up into like your knees or something like that. So yeah, the first time I had that done, it was like really, really weird because it was just like, oh my gosh, like I don't like this at all. But I had to be still, and I asked for them to cover my eyes because I was panicking. Sorry, y'all. But I was panicking because, like I said, I had never been in a machine like that before, and I was like really, really afraid. Not afraid because I knew nothing was gonna happen to me, but like I was hallucinating because I felt like I couldn't breathe, and like the air was just closing in on me, and I was just, yeah, it was a lot. But anyway, so I got my MRI or whatever. And then I had made an appointment with the neurologist after my MRI. So once I got the MRI, I made an appointment with the neurologist and met with him. And from there, he told me that it looks as though you have MS. And so I'm like, okay. I'm just taking it for what it is, because at that point, I didn't really understand the disease. And to be so real with y'all, sometimes I still don't understand it. But all I know is that I was diagnosed with it. Whatever. But I'm sorry. But so yeah, he was like, you have it looks as though you have MS, you have lesions on your brain. And so I'm like, okay. And so at first I was like really, really nervous because things that I usually think of when you have on your brain, like I think of like aneurysms and stuff like that. So I got really, really like nervous, but he was like, it's nothing like that. But at the same time, like MS does affect your mobility. And so I got kind of like, I didn't get worried. And the reason why I didn't get worried is because, like I said, I didn't really understand the disease. And so I had needed him to explain it to me. And he did his best explaining it. And at that point, I still didn't get it because it's just like, this is like all of a sudden random. And this happened, the diagnosis was January of 2016. So I found out January 2016 that I was actually diagnosed with MS. And so, yeah, he gave me books. He explained it to me, all those things. And I started looking through the books, but like, it was like, what am I reading? You know? So I was just like, whatever. And so I furthered my research and looked on Google, and then I randomly came across like meeting people who knew about it. So it was like God was like kind of bringing me to an understanding of what I actually have, or bringing people into my life that can relate to what I have and stuff like that. And so at that point, once I found out that I had MS, which was in January of 2016, he then started discussing medications with me, and he explained how, you know, with this disease, because it's an immune disease, that it can affect you later on in life. He was like, you're young now, but later on in life it can affect you. So as far as like the effects later on in life, like as I get older, it can affect my mobility. So a lot of people who have MS sometimes need to rely on walkers. They have to, some people are like, have to be in a wheelchair for the rest of their lives. And so that kind of like scared me. Oh gosh. I keep yawning. That kind of scared me, just because I was like, man, I'm too young for this. You know, that's all I kept saying. And like, I always say that still to this day, like, oh, I'm too young for this. Like, I don't want, you know what I'm saying? I don't want my mobility to decline. And like, the first person that I thought of, I didn't even think of me, knowing that I'm the one that has that, but I thought of my son. I'm like, how does this affect him, you know? And so they randomly, the doctor's office had books for MS, books for moms, so for the kids. So they had a book for kids who have parents who suffer from MS, and so they gave me one. And my son was really young. I think he was like he was 2, because I found out in 2016, so he was 2, turning 3. So yeah, he was really young at the time, so he didn't really like, you know, understand what it actually was and how it was affecting me. So now that he's older, maybe I can, you know, show him the book now, or maybe when he turns 5, and maybe he can understand it just a little bit more than what he did back then. And so I thought of him because I'm like, man, like, I immediately thought, what if I have to be dependent upon a walker or dependent upon a wheelchair? Like, that's not what I see my life as. And so during this time, like, it was a really, really rough time in my, not a rough time in my life, but it was like I wasn't really like too much focused on me and my health. And so at that time, I was just taking it for what it was when I found out. And then I started my medication in April of 2016. So I started my medication a couple months after finding out. And ever since then, I've been taking the same pill every single day. So I have to take 1 pill a day. And that's it. And then I also take vitamins. So I take vitamin D, my MS pill, and then I take a flaxseed vitamin as well. Sorry. And then there's other vitamins too that I could incorporate, but I just haven't done so yet. I'm probably gonna start that though, just because I really care about my health. I feel great right now. I'm 26 years old. I'll be 27 next month. I feel great, but I know that there's more room where I can improve and do more things to take care of my body. So yeah, that is how I got diagnosed, from the symptoms of my eye, which led into me getting an MRI. Got my MRI, and then they found lesions in my brain, and then that is what diagnosed me with MS. I get MRIs probably really I've been getting them every year, but lately I got one this past August of 2018, and I have a new doctor as well, so I got a new neurologist, just because my old one, I feel like he wasn't doing much for me. Like my appointments or my follow-up appointments or check-in appointments, whatever, like all he did was basically talk. And I just felt like, you know, that was kind of pointless. I'm like, we could have just had this conversation over the phone if that's all you were going to say. But, you know, I just felt like I just wasn't feeling him too much. He's a great, nice guy, but like as far as like treatment wise, I just felt like he wasn't really doing enough. And maybe it was me like not telling him enough of what I was like experiencing and stuff like that. But it was just like he was kind of like really nonchalant about the situation. And in my mind, I'm like, man, like I really need you to be like really open and caring with me. Like I don't understand what I have yet, and so like I really want you to help me understand. And so I got like kind of irritated with that, and I was just like, you know what, I think I'm gonna change doctors. And so I reached out to my family physician, and she referred me to the neurologist that I have now, and he's absolutely amazing. He's great. He always asks what's wrong, anything that I need. He always has a recommendation for whatever I say is wrong. So I love that. So he's great. But like I said, I feel like the story is going all over the place, but you guys will be able to piece it together if you can comprehend. It shouldn't be too hard. But this past August, I got an MRI, which was basically another scan of my brain and my spine, because I have lesions on my spine as well, which I have 3. And so the information I got from that, having lesions on the spine, is as I get older, if I don't, stay active or nothing like that, as I get older, the lesions on my spine will make my mobility kind of deteriorate. That's not really the right wording, but it'll affect my mobility as I get older. So it'll affect me walking or my back or anything like that. It'll affect. So excuse me, I wasn't excited about that, just because I'm like, man, like this stuff, like I'm really with MS, I don't really acknowledge it as much. Like I know it's something that I've been diagnosed with, and I know it's something that I'm treating every day because I take this pill every day, but like I don't claim it. I don't claim the disease. In the fall winter time of 2016, I reached out to God a lot more than what I used to. I've always had a relationship with God, but I had made some changes in my life, and I just started focusing more on my relationship and more on myself as well. And so knowing what I know now, I don't really rely on, or I don't really like claim my disease. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I don't even like to say my disease, because this is not something that I'm claiming to be mine. This is just something temporary. Now, MS is a chronic disease, so once you have it, you will have it for life. But like I decree and declare that I'm healed in the name of Jesus, and that's my mindset. So even though I'm taking the necessary precautions to prevent MS from worsening with my body, I'm still claiming that I'm healed, and I don't claim this disease. Like, yes, this is something that's on my health charts, but does it define who I am? No, not at all. So with that mindset, like that helps me get through this process easier. However, sometimes my body does not feel like that. Doesn't feel like that at all. So right now I'm at 11 minutes, going on 12 minutes. So I'm thinking that I'm going to do like a part 2 to this story, just because it's going to be longer. And so in this story, obviously here what you guys see, I explain like how I got diagnosed with it. And so I think in the part 2, I'm going to explain like the symptoms and stuff that I face on a day-to-day basis, and how it affects my daily life routines. So oh yes, that's so good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do a part 2, just so that I don't go over my time as far as videos go. I'm not really sure how to upload a longer than 15-minute video, so once I master that, then I won't have to do this part 2 stuff. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I hope you guys have enjoyed so far. My story, like I said, it was kind of like all over the place, but I'm kind of just like processing things and putting things together and kind of putting them in a perspective in which you guys can understand, so that when you do watch these videos, like, you can kind of understand where I'm coming from. And not only watch my video, but like research if you're interested in learning about MS or comparing people's symptoms and stuff like that. Watch other people's videos. They're really, really good. I know that there was the movie on Netflix about this guy that had MS. I don't know if it's still on there. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really good. And it I watched it like probably shortly after I was diagnosed with it, and it kind of like opened my eyes to, you know, what could really happen. And so prayerfully none of that stuff happens to me, but it really had me, you know, it made me understand more of like what the disease is and like how it can really affect you in tremendous ways. And so yeah, if you can, like, research that movie, and then if you can't, just go on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure there are other people on YouTube who shared their MS stories, so you can kind of like compare and see, you know, the differences and similarities between the two, between other people's diagnoses and all those stuff. So thank you guys once again for watching, and I love you guys, and stay tuned for part 2 that will be coming up today. Like I said, I'm just gonna record it right after this one, so stay tuned for part 2, and I'll see you guys in the next video.